The fourth kind of person that Watts points out discusses the first category, the final category of person is the skeptic. And skepticism has a very technical meaning in philosophy, but this is not, I think, what Watts is talking about here. At the top of the page, you see he characterizes the skeptic as the skeptic believes nothing and is afraid to give assent to anything. That is, the skeptic, now that we've seen all of our irrational attitudes, the type of people that we have, somebody who adopts this kind of skepticism might look at the other guys and say, look, one guy believes everything. It doesn't make any sense. One guy just says everything that everybody else says is wrong, so he's right, he's smarter. That's the guy of contradiction. Somebody who adopts dogmatism says he knows everything, he's got the answer, I made up my mind, don't confuse me with the facts. But the guy who adopts this form of skepticism, a little bit different than the skepticism that we talk about when we talk about the theory of knowledge in philosophy, but related, is this guy says, no matter what, there's always a chance that I'm going to be wrong. So as a result, there's never enough reason to believe anything, which is its relationship to philosophical skepticism, that you never can know anything because you never can have enough reason. This person has persistent doubt about an argument and an issue. That is, so he worries that the issue can never be resolved, and in fact every issue, or just about every issue, can't be resolved. Now let's go back to the text, because let's just read exactly what Feldman has to say about this, because I think he makes some very good points. And he writes, and let's pick it up over here, beginning of that paragraph under the skeptic. Although Watts wrote long ago, his classifications remain useful today. You probably know people who, like the credulous person, agree with virtually everything that is said to them. And you know people who, at least in some moods, are like the person of contradiction who disagrees with everything. There are dogmatists among us who hold their beliefs with the utmost conviction and pay no attention to new reasons or evidence. Equally, there are those, like Watts' skeptic, who withhold belief about almost everything out of fear of ever making a mistake. That is, if you never believe anything, you can't believe a wrong thing. Of course, Watts' categories are extremes. No one, or almost no one, is completely dogmatic, credulous, skeptical, or contrary. Still, it's useful to be aware of these general types. Another type worth noting, quite similar to the credulous person, is the person who insists that in controversial cases, everyone is right. Such people are fond of saying that different things are true for different people or different groups. That some issues are matters of opinion about which everyone or no one is right. We might characterize such people as relativists. And I think Feldman brings this one up for a very important point. Relativism has become the dominant, or I shouldn't say the, but a dominant view, at least in contemporary America. Who are you to say? What are you to do? And Feldman is very concerned, as I am, about your adopting this relativist attitude. People think that it's adopted because people would like to be tolerant of other people, and it's nice to be tolerant, but you can be tolerant without saying that, nobody is right, that everybody's opinion is as good as everybody else's opinion. Certainly, in matters of physics, your opinions are not quite on a par with those of your physics professor. In other subjects, the same is true. So relativism also is a bad attitude, and Feldman's main concern and our concern in logic is that when you're learning how to evaluate arguments, how to evaluate reasons, you're trying to be able to find a reasonable, rational way of solving or coming to answers of problems. And as a result, the warning is, don't be any of these guys, and also don't be a relativist.